Let's do this. Come on. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to In the Crease with Tommy C. And in my crease, trying to tuck one. Trying to tuck it. None other than Chicago Dead on Dave. Welcome to the showgram. As some freaking New York DJ used to say it all the time. He used to drive me up. Welcome to the showgram. Yeah. I hate that.
Your crease is so wonderful to be in. I love being in your crease.
I didn't think of it that way. Stop being
so
weird.
Oh God, it's so warm.
Oh, stop being weird. You're freaking me out, man.
Oh yeah.
So before we go any further, I want to be very clear because I wasn't.
Correction time.
What's that?
Correction time.
Yeah, correction. I don't know. Just not even a correction because I'm not changing my opinion. Because I think the Leafs are overreacting. But I swear I was not aware until shortly after the show yesterday that some Leaf fans are actually throwing the jersey on during play. Do not condone that under any circumstances. Nothing. Not even a hat should be thrown on the ice during play. Those guys have multi-million-dollar careers. They have worked their whole lives. The referees as well. They do not deserve to be put in danger by uncaring and really closed off Maple Leafs fan. I get your anger.
Fans.
I get your anger. I get it. But there's no excuse for that. It's sick and it's dangerous and it really has to stop. But having said that, Adam Proto is a big fat fucking social justice warrior blowhard. Yes. Of course, we're gonna be talking about the hit from yesterday's game, which was absolutely fantastic. This show should be nothing more than this is gonna be big. We're gonna have a hot discussion here today.
You got a hot
that.
Dave.
Hot Dave. Okay, so hit from behind, leaving the feet on Chris Letang, who has suffered a stroke in the last year, who's very well liked on this show. I'm certainly not going to put up any defense of Ronaldo. He's very similar to the gentleman we talked about yesterday, Mr. What the hell was his name? Carcillo, yeah. Mr. Carcillo, his suspension rate is almost around the same. He has a terrible history, but it's just who knows what happened to Chris. And yeah, guys like this need to be run out of the game. And maybe 12. There's got to be a criteria for a season suspension. I think that's what this really comes down to. There really has to be a criteria for this. But that's up to the Players Association, and they don't seem to care unless it happens to them individually. Dave, how do you feel about this situation?
All right, first, I've been watching hockey for 4 years. Actually really watching hockey for 4 years. And maybe I'm a hockey noob, whatever. This is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my 4 years of watching hockey.
It's up there.
This is the worst hit I have seen. Mm-hmm. And it's not only just the hit, it's how the guy reacts afterwards. Now, first I want to talk about the hit. I've watched it from as many angles as I can find. I was searching YouTube for every single view of this hit that I could see. Mm-hmm. This is intentional. Mm-hmm. This is vicious. It's with malice. And it was designed to hurt. Mm-hmm. There was no bang about this. He made a conscious effort, and there was more than 6 or 7 feet between him and Letang. He could have made the stop anytime. You do not finish this check.
Yeah.
This is this absolute disgusting.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to say that he should be suspended. This should be the end of his season and possibly his career.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous. It's just a dream
This is insane. And the fact that the aftermath. Now, I know we're going to talk about Wreslting in a minute about what he wrote.
Wreslting's comment. I'm really just going to point out hackery.
We'll always agree that Wreslting's a fucking hack. Yeah, There's no question about that. I'm not sure how wrong he is in his claims. Not in the spot that he's claiming. Mm-hmm. I watched this entire interview with this fucking joker. Mm-hmm. This guy has absolutely no remorse.
None. Zero.
he was as cold as a fucking serial killer. He was talking about the game, talking about how he laughed, he made a smirk. He smirked when talking about how his play changed the course of the game, and that's what Wreslting's kind of talked about.
Yes, I do, but it certainly wasn't a joke. I do believe, and we're going to get into the audio a little later.
True,
I have it,
but
it's
earlier in the interview,
and I didn't. First of all, the fact that he was bragging and or joking about this particular situation is blatant, not just from Puck Daddy. It is, but Puck Daddy kind of controls the hockey media circle. They're really the blood. They're like the New York Times of the hockey media in recent years. And Wreslting used the word joke, and I take that quite literally. I believe, and he does kind of laugh, but he was laughing at the irony. And here's another thing. As cold as what he said, as far as it did change the outcome of the game and we did kill the penalty, he's quite literally correct.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he's quite literally correct. I really don't have a problem with people telling the truth, but it is disturbing, extremely disturbing, that he was just, there's just nothing. There is nothing there. There is just like, yeah, well, I agree with him on another thing. You probably could slow-mo just about every hit and find a problem with it. Okay, I think that's a fact. But
that's true. He wasn't wrong there.
No, he's not lying there. I think this guy told the truth. As far as
I think he told his variation of the truth.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he did. First of all, where he's 100% wrong, he's like, I didn't hit him in the numbers. Well, yeah, you didn't hit him in the numbers. I hit him in the upper part of the shoulder, which is quite literally cracked. You can't hit him there. Not when his back's turned facing the boards.
No,
and maybe I hit him.
And he left his feet. The guy was on the fucking board.
Yeah, and he left his feet prior to the hit. It didn't leave his feet in the middle of the hit. He left his feet problem his. So I mean, I don't know if it was intentional in the sense that I don't know.
There was no reason for the check, Tommy.
No, there was no reason for the check. He could have held him up. He could have got in there. There's a million things. But it was.
It's unbelievable.
I doubt. I don't buy that he was. But it doesn't matter. It really. This is kind of irrelevant. It doesn't matter what his intent was going in. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter whatsoever. But I want to point out, because we talked about this online, that this is being reported in the mainstream hockey media. The only place I saw it was a South Jersey paper that's probably a little Philadelphia sympathies, because South Jersey's all Philly. They're Flyer. It's Flyer country. Sure. And they were like, did he really? And they played the audio. Now, at the point of contention, he does kind of smirk, but he was when he was talking about what happened in the game and the result of this particular penalty. And I'm going to get into that. And you listen.
I think it's earlier though.
We'll play the whole thing right now. I didn't use the video, so you can't see the smirk. You're going to have to go out and check it out yourself. I'll put the link in the description box after the show. I should have done that before. I apologize. You can't see. You can hear kind of a. But he certainly wasn't laughing out loud. He wasn't joking around, and he certainly wasn't bragging. He was calling it the way he saw it, and was kind of amused by the irony that this particular penalty that was 100% his fault. He also said he thinks he's going to be suspended. Yeah, well,
no, and he did, but the way he said it.
Yeah, like that's the way the league is nowadays.
The league's going.
He doesn't think he's responsible. No, I'm not going to argue with you, Dave. He does not think he's responsible.
He doesn't think he should be suspended.
No, because he is remorseless.
Think his should be taken out of the game. Right. No. He doesn't care about the well-being of other people on the ice. He's a reckless fucking danger. And these guys, not all fucking enforcers, not all goons, but these cocksuckers need to be out of the fucking game.
Yeah, I have to be. I do like Zach.
Simple.
I do like Zach. He's good with his fists. He is a spark plug, a lot like Carcillo, but there comes a point. And you know what? I think he's quite literally right. I mean, yes, just because you didn't mean to hit somebody doesn't mean you shouldn't be suspended. And if you keep not meaning it, doesn't mean you shouldn't be thrown out of the damn league. Sure. But it's a situation where, we have repeated, look, I think even a clean player could get suspended in the way they do call the game today, and maybe at any time. But you're responsible for your body, you're responsible for your stick, and that's what it is at the end of the day. But I just want to make it clear. He made a justification
because Letang is a star, too. That bugged me, too. That was part of it.
I got to be honest with you. I agree with him on that. And the suspensions have reflected that.
But even if he hit Joe Schmo, nobody.
They made us an Brendan Shanahan last year, was it 2 years ago during the shortened season, made a video about Rick Nash, why he shouldn't be suspended. The only player that I know to date that has been given the reason we didn't suspend him. What a shock. It was skill player Rick Nash. I absolutely believe that suspensions are harsher based on the player that you hit. It is wrong. It is dangerous. We have gone, so he is not incorrect there.
No, I agree.
It does show a lack of remorse. So I think we totally agree on this. I
agree. Look, the reality is every sport protects its superstars.
Yeah, sure.
And you know why? Because they draw.
Because they draw. But if you're going to have a law of the land, it's got to be even. And otherwise, you lead the star players.
It is.
The star players.
It is.
Yes. The star players will start taking liberties. We've seen that with Martin Hansel in Arizona. I always bring up the John Scott hit. Martin Hansel, repeat offender, got 3 games. The same week John Scott hit for hitting Louis Anderson, who was a skill player. Your suspension is going to be based on who you are and what your skill set is and who you hit. It's just a fact.
In most cases,
or media outrage, like Greg Wyshynski. Greg Wyshynski probably got this guy a couple extra games. I don't care, but let's point out. Let's go back to Wyshynski. Wyshynski had a misleading headline about him joking about it. I'm going to play the tape for you right now. He certainly wasn't joking, and he definitely wasn't bragging, but he was ice cold. And that, it's always better, Greg, to tell the truth rather to inject something to create outrage. Because I got to be honest with you, if he made an uncomfortable joke about it, I could have passed that off as to look, he was trying to put light on the subject. But that's not what's concerning here. What's concerning here is it's ice. Yeah. And this guy is in a position to play one of the most dangerous games in the world. Here's Zac. Here's Zac Rinaldo.
Hit him backside of the shoulder. Just I don't know, maybe the power of my hit. His head hit the glass, and yeah, I didn't hit him from behind. I hit him from the number. His backside of the shoulder. So I saw it.
There's been a few questionable calls with you in terms of leaving your feet. I know that we've looked at the video, and sometimes it looks like you are when you make impact. Do you feel like you left your feet?
I think I was going pretty fast. I think me hitting him and the impact of me leaving him threw me up. If you slow it down, any hit, you see guys every single hit. You slow it down and dissect every single.
Yeah, but that wasn't the case this time.
No, it wasn't. And you know what? To make reference to that pisses me off too.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
To be criticized for this?
Yeah, I don't think they should slow it down and dissect every single little
tough
thing.
shit.
He avoids the question too, by the way. That's not the question the guy even asked him.
Hit him some people think I hit him, but we play such a fast game and things happen so quickly, so it's hard to dissect something that happens so quickly.
Do you expect to get suspended?
Right there.
I'm gonna get suspended.
Right there.
Yeah.
I think was a past transgressions.
Just the way the league is going right now.
Yeah.
I know, especially it being Letang, a star player, it being me with some history, and him getting hurt.
And you don't deserve it
either. So, just gonna take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but the boys did a good job. We killed it off, so that's the main part. That's the best part about it.
And to see all those fights in the second.
Yeah, I changed the whole game, man. Who knows what the game would have been like if I didn't do what I did.
He's
That's
quite literally.
A scary statement.
Yeah, it is a scary statement. Not because he was not joking. That's the scariest part about it.
That's the scariest part. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't joking. That's Greg. You're a fucking moron. Yeah. You're a fucking moron. All you had to do was tell the truth. This guy's a psychopath.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do was tell the truth. He wasn't joking. He was like, yeah, shit, man. I mean, he's quite literally correct, but it just shows a complete lack of remorse.
Yeah. And he makes jest at the suspension question. If you hear him, you hear the hiccup in his voice, the little laughter that he has. Just complete disregard for it.
But I didn't take it like haha. I took it like
man, I took it like haha.
He's laughing at the irony, and it is quite literally true.
Afterwards, you're right.
Yeah,
at the end, yes, but not earlier.
Okay, what was the earlier part?
He's making light at the fact that I'm gonna get suspended.
Oh, I didn't really read into it like that.
Yeah, you know what though?
I thought that is excuse making. I thought that was excuse making. Well, it's not my fault. It's the way the league is. No, not really.
Yeah, the Letang thing bugs me because no matter who he hit there, I don't care if it's fucking me or you or fucking Chris Letang. Doesn't goddamn matter. This hit is disgusting.
Yeah.
And him to make justification because he's going to get more punishment's going to be brought down on him because of his star player is absolute bullshit. It's him trying to take the onus off of what he did and put the onus on the league. This is not on the league.
No, it's not.
This is on you.
This is on you.
And you need to be
Bottom
gone from
line.
the game because you're dangerous.
Absolutely.
You're dangerous. You're cold, and you might be a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, and
Okay?
and you know, I completely.
I'm
I think you
shaking.
were that I was going to disagree with you more. I have nothing. There's nothing to disagree with you on. And we can all interpret it a little differently. I think that would be fair. I think we all agree that he needs to be suspended. And you know, look, a lot of people have been calling this for years for the league to reinvestigate. My problem with jumping on that bandwagon is they'll overdo it and make the and I think we both can agree on that. I don't
certain
care.
circumstances, though.
But I do care about the accuracy of the media. I mean, you listen to a dopey show like this, and you got to be pretty
that's one
friggin'
thing.
hardcore. And me, Jake Link, the whole Shot from the Point team, Dead on Dave, we have no integrity and never plan to, and we're not reporters and don't want to be. But it's funny how a show like this has more integrity. We played you the clip. It's not a joke. He was kind of blown away by it, and it's like you said, he did make excuses. It's the ice coldness. He wasn't laughing, he wasn't bragging. And I got to be honest with you, when he put his tweet out and said, I wasn't joking, that's the truth.
Yeah.
The media lied. Zac Rinaldo did not lie. I don't think he lied once in that whole thing.
No.
No.
That's the worst part of it.
And that's even more frightening.
I know. It's like unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That's even more frightening. I mean, it's just you know,
Brzezinski's a fucking hack, though.
Yeah, he really is.
Oof.
I mean, God damn. I
Oof.
mean, you inject your own personal politics and your feelings on everything. And let's face it, that has a lot to do with more than likely the Devils Flyers rivalry. He probably doesn't like them. They don't like enforcers. You can be clean and an enforcer. You know, look, guys are going to take suspensions. But when you start racking up the kind of numbers of Carcillo and Ronaldo, it does cause pause.
Sure.
And like Carcillo just lied.
He did.
Ronaldo, he told the flat out truth and told you how he felt, and he didn't feel much. And that's what's so frightening about the Ronaldo thing. And to think a guy like this, who I kind of admired because a guy's good with his hands, and I think that's a skill in hockey. A guy's good with his hands. I enjoy that. I enjoy that part of the game. But I mean, I do like to think that these guys have a code and they have honor, and I know some of them don't, but I think more do than don't, and I do believe that.
This guy's not one of them.
No,
though, let me tell
well,
you.
it's a funny thing though because like I think it was in the shortened season as well. He got into it with a player and really rung his bell and then pulled back because that's the code. You know, I mean, because the guy could no longer defend himself. So
what made this play different? That's the question.
Yeah. I don't know. Zac Rinaldo needs to go. I don't really have a problem.
Sure.
But here's where I'm going to piss off some Pittsburgh Penguins fans. I'm going to lay some hashtag fact right down. Ready for this. This says everything this does not change anything I just said. The fact that you lost this game after losing a star player like this under these circumstances, and you lost so many fights afterwards, says a lot about the character of your hockey team. You should be ashamed for losing this game. When they come into your building, I think it's next month and the month after, you shouldn't lose the Philadelphia Flyers all goddamn year. No. I mean, you should be ashamed of this team. You can piss and moan about the fucking hit all you like, and it's preaching to the choir because any sane person thinks Zac Rinaldo is 100% guilty. But here's the thing, analytics guys, they had the enforcer. You didn't. And you got beat up, and you lost. That's really what this comes down to. Now, I'm not saying psychopaths like that should be in the league.
No.
But you should have called somebody up from the HL to deal with them.
Sure. When something like this happens, you
Pittsburgh,
have to do something for your team. You got to rally.
Guy calls me yesterday and says, why are they losing? Maybe this is it. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't really have an answer for it. But you should be angry at your team. And not so much the team, but the management. Because I don't think all players should be like fucking Gordie Howe. I'm not saying that.
No, absolutely.
I don't think Sidney Crosby should be avenging this. I'm not saying that. But you should. This shows you why Philadelphia, who's an inferior team, regularly beats you guys and eliminates you from the playoffs and what have you.
Now there is a lot of words we can associate with Pittsburgh: talented, tricky, hard to fucking cover. But here's another word, and I think this might be the most telling word of all. They're soft.
Yeah, there you go.
Soft.
I mean, they
And
tried. I'm not saying they didn't fight hard.
This is a soft team.
They did fight. It was a great game. It was a good. I don't want to take away from the game, but they're just not as tough as the Flyers.
No,
and
they're
they're not
man.
as tough as they used to be. It's not like they're running around kicking ass every night. But I got to be honest with you. It does say something about your team when you can't respond and win in these circumstances. There was no higher
Heartless.
emotional level. They took a 2-1 lead in the third period. The Flyers smacked them right back. You know, even one of their star players,
soulless.
Braden Shin, threw down a beat down. Actually, the only Flyer that got his ass kicked last night, and I can't remember his name, was the guy who refused to take off his helmet. So at that point, I was rooting for the Penguin. The other guy said, I forget one of the Pens. He took off his helmet. He said, "Come bring it." And the guy was being a bitch, and he got his ass handed to him with the helmet on. So take your helmet and go back to the locker room. 718-395.
Where's Pittsburgh? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. 718-395-7660, or Skype is a shot from the point. Talk to me, Tommy C, or Dead on Dave, and tell us what you think of this hit. Tell you what I knew I'd be throwing bombs on Pittsburgh. And yeah, I'm a little biased. I'll be on, but come at me. You could not be fucking happy about that loss. And take away the dirty hit. The Flyers recovered from the dirty hit. They didn't let it bother them. They can't.
In fact, they let it fire him up.
Friggin', I'll piss you off. Zac Rinaldo's right. That's all that matters. They killed the fucking penalty in the scheme of the game. Should have showed a little more remorse and class.
Sure.
But but the bottom line, this is about winning, and I go with what's winning. That's why I didn't dismiss advanced stats right off the bat. I want to see what works. What works is what I'm interested in. And
I'm going to take it a step farther.
Yeah.
I'm going to think there's a problem in that locker room we've talked about for a long time with leadership, and not just on the ice. There is a coaching deficiency.
I believe, and always
there's
believe,
something wrong.
That Dan Blasman, I don't even know this new guy's name, never coached that hockey team.
Yep.
I think Sid and Mario.
Yeah, Sidney's LeBron.
Sidney's LeBron. Yes. And they run it from the top fucking down. I always found Dan Blasman to be a soft personality. I don't think he's a bad person. But I think he was I just always felt like he was there for the ride. If you go back to the I forgot to put the fucking ticker on. Damn it, I hate when I do that. If you go back to the 2012 playoffs when it was a horribly played series, but it was really entertaining versus the Flyers, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. If you go back to that situation, I forgot what the fuck I was about to say. God, I hate that. We're just raw and rough over here. I completely misplaced my thoughts because I started that stupid fucking ticker.
That's too funny.
And it's just for a fact. I mean, really, do you read that shit?
Right.
I don't.
Jesus.
Yeah, but well, I mean, the Flyers took it. It wasn't even. It was a regular season game, and I just watched a clip today when Peter Laviolette, then the coach of the Flyers, now I remembered, and Tony Granato, the assistant coach for Dan Blasma, were screaming toe to toe on the bench. Laviolette and Granato were thrown out, and Blasma stayed on there because he didn't get into it. I don't think he's really. I just never thought that Dan Blasma was just emotionally involved. I really thought he was just happy to be the Pittsburgh Penguins coach and have Sidney Crosby tell him what to do. I don't know this for a fact, but I get the same impression from this team.
We see it. We see it in other sports. LeBron is the GM, the coach, and everything of that fucking Cleveland Cavaliers team.
Sid's just
and let me tell you, Sidney's the same friggin' way.
Yeah.
We're going to find a lot about Pittsburgh tonight, okay? Because the Blackhawks are coming in. How Pittsburgh responds tonight is going to tell us a lot about where this team is going the rest of the year and if they're going to be a deep running team in the playoffs. Because you know what? After what I saw in that game, I'm not so sure that if the wrong team doesn't come in, that they're not going to get their asses kicked. And let me tell you, the Hawks, even they don't have their big enforcer. They don't got Carcillo. He's gone. He's not in this game. So let's see what you have on equal footing with a team that's just as talented as you are.
And they tell you something. They should come out pissed off.
Let's see your guts. Let's see your heart. Let's see your leadership, Sidney. Let's see it.
I'm thinking I know what I'm going to say. That's what I think. I could be wrong. There's a lot of talent on that roster. But when Brooks Orpik and Scazzeri and that other dope that went to the Capitals. They say there's a leadership problem.
There's a leadership
right
problem.
Before the playoffs last year. There's a fucking problem. And the guy Harrison Mooney told me in an interview when he had on here that the C doesn't mean shit. It's just a decoration.
Sure.
Bullshit. Because courage, or hockey courage, always looks stupid to hipsters and reporters.
Oh, I thought
like
you meant
that.
in Sydney's case.
In Sydney's case, yeah. But look, well, the thing
doesn't
is,
mean shit in
he
Sydney's
knows.
case, let me tell you that.
Look, Harrison knows that Sydney has zero leadership ability. Harrison knows that Jonathan Toews is the leader of Team Canada. He knows that.
Yes.
So what he has to do is he's in love with Sid. He thinks he's so goddamn good for the game. He has to downgrade the C to kind of get his point across. And I wish I had a year to think about this. So but that's really what it is. Leadership means something, and Crosby's got zero.
But guess what? The Hawks do.
What?
They got it in spades. We're going to see exactly what happens tonight because you know what? I got a feeling this is going to get ugly one way or the other. Either Pittsburgh's going to play with some actual courage and guts and they're going to take it to the Hawks, or the Hawks are going to see a dead-in-the-water team that has no heart, no soul, and they're going to take it to them. It's going to get out of hand.
I hope they get blown out. I want to see them go blown. I just don't like this hockey team. There's no doubt
I know you don't.
And we didn't get one. Well, Kazar tried to call in the intro. So I don't know what the hell that was about. Matthew Kassar's calling in the intro. But it's supposed to be Mondays. Did I say when? Well, I didn't say this Wednesday. It is maybe that's why we had a freaking Kassar's going to be on Mondays from now on. You know that?
Oh, he's going on Mondays. Okay.
Yeah, he's going on Mondays. I like to hear your opinions, especially from Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah, I know.
Because I know they're not going to be happy with me. But I stand by my statement. You come on. You tell me I'm fucking wrong. Yeah. Because I don't think I'm wrong. It's funny because we really started this whole show like it was based around Crosby Ovechkin. And it's funny how it's come full circle again. But it's... No, I don't like those guys, but I don't even think my bias has anything to do with it. The same shit keeps happening.
Not in this case.
The same shit. Really, Chris Draper was right. You don't know enough to shake. I mean, he doesn't have concern for tradition, traditional leadership, anything to do with tradition or anything like that. Crosby seems to be absent, and that's because he thinks he's just that big of a genius. 540, you're on the air.
What's up?
Who's this? Frank the Prank?
It's Pittsburgh 496.
All right, I want to hear from you. I was coaxing you to call in. What do you got for us?
Last night was just an embarrassment.
Really? So you feel similar to
that's a real fan right there. That's a real fan who sees something.
I'm not. Look. I do have a bias against your team, but I got to be honest with you. If the Rangers did this, I was pissing and moaning last week because they got pushed around by the.
Absolutely.
I forget what fucking team they lost to.
Anybody would be getting the same treatment right now. Let me tell you.
All right, but I want to hear what you have to say about last night and Zac Rinaldo and how you feel about the whole situation. So go ahead, Pittsburgh.
Well, first off, I want to start by saying how they did not play like they wanted to win. It's like they didn't even care. Played it last night. That's
Philly
the
did.
feeling I got.
Philly did.
Philly did. That's the problem. There's a conspiracy theory going on that Claude Giroux went to a steakhouse in South Jersey and arranged this whole thing, which is just completely insane.
God.
I'm sure they said, let's go beat them up tonight, but I don't believe for a minute that. So, I mean, look, did anything I say is off? Look, I understand that nobody's defending and nobody's saying would defend the hit.
No, not at all.
The only thing we're attacking is I don't like the response.
Yeah,
and
we're
I don't
about
like
the guts.
I don't like the fact that they didn't win. I mean, I honestly, because I don't care what the analytics guys say. I see the momentum changes. If you lose a fight, unless the guy that loses the fight is outmatched and doesn't normally fight, that actually, if you lose that fight, that actually could be a win scenario.
Sure.
You see the momentum shift, and the Flyers wanted it more, and they were willing to duke it out, you know?
When you lose a star player in the manner in which they did, in such an egregious fucking manner, you've got to step up. Somebody on that team.
Look, if they went into overtime, if they fought real hard, I was like, okay. And I can't.
Different story.
Look, all right. Besides the maybe the stadium series between the Kings and the Sharks, later this year, or the Ducks and the Sharks. I don't even know who the hell's in it. What bigger game is on the regular season schedule than when Pittsburgh meets Philadelphia again this year?
There's
Not
not.
one.
That's a must-see TV right there,
One.
kids.
That is quit your job. Do you know when the Pens and the Flyers get it on again, Pittsburgh?
I think it's in March. I
Thinks
believe.
it's March. That could mean a playoff spot for Philly.
It certainly could.
You know, that could probably mean the difference between a play. It's not going to mean that for Pittsburgh, but I don't know. Maybe Pittsburgh's got they're kind of like Detroit. They've done it so many times they just get bored. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they're just a gutless team with no leadership.
I don't know if they're a gutless team because I'm sure there's guys on there that Chris Letang is not a gutless hockey player.
No, but you know what? Chris Letang's on the fucking sideline right now, and his team didn't come pick him up. His team didn't fucking pick up the slack and win this game that they should have won.
They got bullied.
That's a problem.
I mean, I would be furious about Ronaldo.
That's a heart problem, Tom.
I would be furious about. I tell you something.
April 1st, Philadelphia.
Oh boy,
April 1st.
Oh boy.
April 1st, fucking. It's a Wednesday night rivalry game.
Holy shit!
And
You
then
know what we
they
should
play
do?
him again. Then they play him again 3 nights later.
You know
4
what we
nights
should do,
later.
Dave?
April 5th, they play him again back in Philadelphia. It's a home and home.
Ask your wife. Let me crash at your house that night.
Woo!
And
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
maybe we'll demonetize this over at your house. Yeah, that would be that's beer and popcorn. If I'm not working by then, which I hope I am. But if for some reason I got a day off, we got to do everything for that game. That's going to be the most bitching game. Hey Pittsburgh, thanks for being so loyal and calling in. I appreciate it, bud. All
You
right?
got more heart than anyone in that locker room. Let me tell you, buddy.
Yeah, you do. And I remember Mario and Yager and all the great players they had. So it's not. It's just this crew I don't like. It's not your boys in general. Take care, brother.
Right.
Good guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good
A
man.
little bit of a side story. The Wizard, Ray Whitney, retires.
Yes.
42 years old after 23 seasons.
Ray Whitney retired. That leads me into my story. That's probably you hit the top one. Martin Brodeur extends his leave of absence to the All-Star break. Ray Whitney didn't get picked up on waivers. So I think he's 42 years old.
Sometimes you got to know when you're done, Martin.
I don't know if he's done.
Martin's done.
You
He's
think
done.
so?
He's done. Unless somebody really goes down for the rest of the year, and they're desperate, there's no reason to sign.
What
Brodeur.
about him going back to Jersey and backing up Schneider if he can accept that?
I don't know if there is a going back there. And honestly, why would they want to do that at this point? I mean, he had just as many eggs as he did good performances in St. Louis. And St. Louis, who had a hurt guy and a rookie, didn't see enough out of Martin to give him more playing time once Allen came back, or the other guy.
You know what, Dave? You're right. It's that's the thing with guys in their 40s. Sometimes they show it, and then it's just not there for some reason, and that means things are going downhill, strength-wise, and so it's just a part of getting old.
Sure.
And I guess it's so funny because I'm such a big Ranger fan. I'm having a little trouble letting go.
I understand. Completely understand. Uncle Daddy's hard to let go of.
No, he is. He's just like the, look, even like, I mean, not to lessen the Crystal Tang hit or anything, but I'm going to say something else outrageous. It's good for hockey in a roundabout way. The game needs heels, and Zac Rinaldo's a heel. The game does not need psychopaths.
Nope.
When I say heels, maybe I like Sean Avery.
Yeah,
or something
there
like
you go.
The game
That's a
needs
great
heels.
comparison.
The game needs bad guys, and it does. And look, it's must-see TV. Now that doesn't mean people should be getting hurt.
No.
But let's face it, this didn't hurt the NHL one iota. 217. I tried to freaking pick up your call light, and every time I clicked on it, you disappeared. So I'm gonna give you one more minute, and then we're gonna end this because we're actually in overtime already. So I do want to take more calls, and here's the rules in this show. It's 30 minutes, but the calls, and depending on what I happen to do, the calls will extend it. And I think that I think that's the best way to do it. We get a ton of calls, we'll keep it going. So whoever you just called, try one more time, or we're gonna end it.
We're putting the shot clock on, buddy.
Yeah, I do got one more story. Two more, actually.
Yeah, let's go.
The Winnipeg Heritage Classic postponed due to cold weather, which sounds funny, but you can't probably play out in certain parts of January in Winnipeg. As crazy as it sounds to people who live in warm areas or parts of America where it didn't get that goddamn cold, it's kind of legitimate. They kind of botched this whole thing. So they're going to push this. Well, I'll read the statement. True North Sports and Entertainment Limited and the Winnipeg Football Club, along with the National Hockey League, would like to formally announce that they are unable to finalize a date to hold the Heritage Classic, Investor Groups Field. What a great name for Investor Groups Field. During the 2015-16 season. So it was next year. All parties were very hopeful that the date was secured in early 2016-17 season. It will continue working on the objective. The game will be an exciting celebration of hockey and provide our province and our city in one more true north, and the Bombers look forward to hosting at a time which works for all parties involved. So they couldn't get it done. I guess there's no Heritage Classic this year. Is there? Is there a Heritage Classic
don't
this
think
year?
so.
So there's not one this year, so maybe next year, because, they should make one for the Canadians and the Canadians only. It just probably wasn't a good idea to do it in January in Winnipeg. It's so freaking cold over there. You probably could do one in March.
It's freaking Siberia. It's Siberia over there.
You could do one in late March, but I don't think they want to do too many in March because that's playoff hunt time.
Yeah.
And that could, you imagine looking back and an outdoor game kind of decided your season. That I think that's why they're a little uncomfortable. But let's face it, it's just that goddamn cold up there. It's cold. Cold.
It's wrapping your nuts in an electric blanket.
Like with the whole global warming thing, you run into people a little older than you, and you're like, yeah, it was colder when I was a kid. Well, guess what? Nobody in fucking Winnipeg says that shit.
Nobody in Winnipeg saying that.
Nobody.
Absolutely.
Nobody in Winnipeg.
Because it's cold. It's just cold.
Not once, not ever did anybody in Winnipeg ever say that shit. All right, everybody. Last night in the National Hockey League, the Ottawa Senators get taken down in overtime by the New York Rangers. Great game. Sens led 2-1 at one point in the game, and Carl Hagen gets the big goal in OT. The Edmonton Oilers defeat the Washington Capitals in the shootout. Washington had to control this game at one point, complete control, but they lost it. Edmonton hung in there, and they beat them. The Minnesota North Stars took on the Detroit Red Wings, and early on looked very much dominated, but the Stars managed to come back and drag it out to a shootout. We really need that 3-on-3 hockey. So the Detroit Red Wings still pull it out. They get the 2 points, 5-4. The Preds and the Habs get it on. Fantastic game right here. The Preds putting on a big show, but it was none other than PK Subban. They got the big bomber in overtime. The Pittsburgh Penguins took on the Philadelphia Flyers, a game we talked about ad nauseum. Claude Giroux with the OT goal. Philadelphia takes that 3-2. Nucks took on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay handled them. That's good because I think they need some strong outings against decent teams. The final is 4-1. The Arizona bye week team, or whatever the hell they're calling themselves, Coyotes, just get rammed in the behind by the Chicago Blackhawks.
Tune-up game for the night is what that was.
The Boston Bruins. They pretty much handle the Dallas Stars in their trip out to the great state of Texas. They take the Stars 3-1. 3-1. Too many stars.
Too many stars.
Stars. They should call the Lone Stars. Doesn't that make way more sense?
It would make a lot more sense. Yeah.
That was the rumor when they would be the Lone Stars. That's what I always heard anyway.
Maybe it's too depressing. Lone Star. Oh, no.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Did you see the... oh, God, did I put it in here? No, I forgot to put the freaking meme in there. I got to... Because Mr. Analytics over there, Kyle Dubas, I put a meme. My fantasy team sucks, too. Oh, that's a good time. Yeah. Check out Shot from the Point Hockey and Shot from the Point... both Shot from the Point Hockey and Google Plus and Facebook. Follow me. I follow everybody back on Google Plus, but hit me up on Facebook too, and we put all those goofy memes in there. I like memes. I don't make apologies for it. I'm not too sophisticated to like the memes, Dave.
We're not halty snalty. I use it all the time. I use memes every day on my show. Every day.
Memes. I think they're great. I like when they say LeBron James is a big flopping pussy.
Yes.
I love them.
Yes.
I love them.
I like when they're accurate.
Yeah, I like when they're accurate. I like when they're funny, and I like the fact that they pick social justice warriors off in our wonderful world of sports. That's so mean and so racist and so homophobic and so sexist. Ah! Eat my meme. What do you think of that? 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Chicago Blackhawks take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. That might be it's must-see TV because I just hate the Pens so much.
Right, I know.
9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Winnipeg Jets are going to get it on. Watch that game. That might be good. I tell you something. That Columbus Blue Jacket team, they're kind of a rough and mean, tumbled team. The Jets, they're coming off a loss of one of their stars. I expect a rumble. Look out. 10 o'clock late night games. The Boston Bruins take on the Colorado Avalanche. The Calgary Flame are just... I did it again. Yeah. I did it again. I did Shock yesterday, and I did Flame. What the fuck is the matter with me?
I don't know.
I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it at all. The Calgary Flames take on the Anaheim Ducks. They definitely need some wins. They're just a few outside a playoff spot. Come on, pick it up, Johnny Hockey. Jersey strong. Come on,
No, take a night off. I benched you.
You did. I had him.
I dropped him, as a matter of fact.
You dropped it today?
I dropped him. Yeah, I did.
I'm going to pick him back up.
Good, pick him up. Take him.
I'm going to pick him up.
Take him. He's going to choke like a dog.
Oh, Jersey Johnny. Because he was hurt for a while. That's why I dropped him. Yeah. Calgary Flames take on the Anaheim Ducks and the 10:30 game rivalry night. It's, I guess that would be a rivalry night. God, I should stay up again. It's going to be a good night. My wife's
monetize this tonight, buddy.
I don't care.
Sans Jesse.
I got to be honest with you. It's the Winter Classic every day. I am into it now, man.
It's hockey season, baby.
It really feels like it. It's cold outside. I love it. It's the best part of the year. I always dip in December, and then I come back strong. 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, the Los Angeles Kings take on their arch nemesis, the San Jose Sharks. Good luck out there in California. Thanks very much for being on the show there, Down on Dave.
Always.
And get out of my green! Oh, I fucked it up. I kicked my mic out, James. Good night, bitches. Yeah! You're a psychopath, Ronaldo. Fuck off.